We're going to go ahead and call the Valorem Subcommittee to order. We have two bills that we're going to hear today. House Bill 138 is a bill that we've heard. This will be the second hearing today, so we will be eligible to vote on this if the committee deems that in order. So we're going to take that one first. Representative Crowe, are you with us? You can just, if you will, from there, that would be great. What's your number? 23. All right. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated, this is House Bill 138. Once again, this is just a continuation. It's an update to this code that's been in place since at least before 1980. It uses a population bracket to identify Butts County to allow the citizens that live in Butts County and are on Georgia Power Lease lots on Jackson Lake to continue to file homestead exemption on those leasehold properties. Like I said, this simply updates that population number to identify Butts County with the new census number from the 2020 census.
Any questions or comments from the committee? 27, who's that? Hold on a second. Are you a motion or are you? I tell you, I may have another question. Representative Prince.
Thank you. I know you said, do you have to update this like every year or every 10 years once the census is in?
Every 10 years.
Every 10 years, okay, thanks.
Yes, sir. We did this last year. It went through last year. We wasn't able to get it out of the Senate last year, so we're a year behind.
I guess my question then becomes this, is Butts County the only one that has to do this? Or does every county?
It's just Butts County. This was a bill that was enacted, like I said, at least before the 80s. I think Blake looked back. We went back past the 80s that this was done. It's something they want to continue to do, and this is the way they did it. So that's the only way we can continue to do it, is to update that population bracket.
All right, I just wanted to make sure Dr. Newton hadn't left Richmond County out updating now.
No, sir.
Thank you. All right. To my friend, number 27.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I was just going to say, yeah, we went over this last year, Representative Prince. But no, I had the same questions last year, so appreciate that. But yes, if it is the proper time, I would like to make a motion to
You
pass.
are recognized.
Make a motion to pass.
All right. Hearing any other discussion? We have a motion that we pass House Bill 138. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. All right, House Bill 138 passes. And our second bill that we're going to hear today is House Resolution 96. This will be is our first hearing. So again, we're going to adhere to our rules. But with that, Representative Williams, will you take the floor? What number? Your number 12?
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is the chair. I'll do it from here.
Well, that would be fine.
All right. This is House Resolution 96. We have heard it time and time before. It was our colleague Sam Watson. Well, he's going on to greener pastures, so I was given this bill to carry through. And basically, it's the tree bill. And so, if you would, it's LC number 432595, and it's updated language for the forestry industry and the timber industry. I'm going to hit a couple of highlights, and if there are any questions, we'll be glad to answer them the best we can. Lines 10 through 19 quote current law that standing timber shall be assessed only once following its harvest or sale at 2 1/2 times the assessed value fixed by law. This means the assessment shall be 100% of fair market value, 40% times 2.5. All other assessments of real property are at 40%. Standing timber is the only agricultural crop taxed for ad valorem purposes. Pecan trees, peach trees, blueberries, cotton, peanuts, corn, they're not taxed. Lines 20 through 24 after January 1 of 2025, assuming this legislation passed the House and Senate by a 2/3 majority and a statewide referendum, standing timber will be assessed following its harvest of sale at the same percentage of value fixed by law for other real properties. Lines 25 through 35. After January 1 of 2026, the General Assembly shall annually appropriate to each county, municipality, or school district for any losses of property tax revenue experienced during the preceding tax year due to the change in manner of assessment on standing timber from 100% to 40%. For the first 3% of revenue reduction, an amount equal to 50% of such revenue reduction will be appropriated to the local governments. For any amounts of revenue reduction of ad valorem tax in excess of 3%, 100% of the revenue reduction on standing timber will be appropriated to the local governments. As you know, LC 432595 is a constitutional amendment, and it does require a 2/3 vote in the House and Senate. In addition, this measure would require a statewide referendum in 2024 if it would become effective for January of 2025.
Thank you. Just to make sure we're understanding this, and I think you make a good point with the assessment. You know, it's you know, there's a value, and then we're assessed at 40% of that value. So what we're saying here is at the time of harvest, same principle will apply
Correct.
to the trees.
Correct.
And then I think also worth noting is that we're going to go in and help offset the lost revenue from this to our local
Municipalities.
counties, school systems. Do we have a historical amount of what that could be, or are people to speak to that later? I mean, is that?
I think we could speak to that later unless someone
Yeah.
on this committee has that information.
Yeah.
Andreas, would you
Andres, you may,
would you like to?
you want to come up?
It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. My name is Andres Villegas, and I head up the Georgia Forestry Association. I think I know just about everybody on the committee. So thank you to Chairman Holcomb for bringing this bill before the committee. This is not the first time you've seen it. So we've approved it once already last year, and then, of course, it came out of the full House twice last year. Unfortunately, due to a 5-hour hiatus on sine die in the Senate, there wasn't enough air to get enough room to get the bill through on the final vote. But yes, sir, this bill, in terms of its fiscal impact, is about $11 million. There's $20 million that are collected on an annual basis across all the counties of Georgia. I do have a one-pager that I can share with the committee that outlines on a county-by-county basis what that impact would be in terms of total loss. And so in this case, it uses the same formula that we use in the Forest Land Protection Act and in CUVA, Forest Land Protection Act, to reimburse the counties, which reimburses them 98.5% of their losses. So they're only incurring a 1.5% loss under this bill. And really, this bill for us is a fairness bill. We're the only commodity in the state that's taxed. We're the only thing of any property in the entire state that's taxed at 100% of value. So we're not asking to get to zero like other ag commodities. We're asking to come down to 40% like other real property, like your home, your cars, boats, whatever else you may own in terms of real property. One thing I'll add here too as well, and we'll share this with the committee, but we have created a map to give you a basis of comparison across the southeastern United States in terms of a severance or a harvest tax. In Georgia today, it's $3 per acre per year. The next closest state is Louisiana at $2.51, but after that it drops down to 88 cents in Arkansas, 36 cents in South Carolina, 0 cents or $0 in Florida, 50 cents in Alabama. So we're definitely putting our landowners across the state at an economic disadvantage, which, in order to remain the #1 forestry state in the nation, we don't really want to put them in that position. So we believe that this is also good from an environmental perspective because it helps landowners hang on to the land. And I think Representative Buckner, you may have mentioned last year that what this equates to is basically reforestation costs. And so it helps landowners, be in a position to put trees back in the ground after that final harvest is occurring at year 25 or 30.
Questions for either the presenter or our guest Andres in regards to the legislation? What number?
So just Andres, explain to me real quick how it works again. So are you taxed every year, or are you just taxed when you cut it?
This is taxed at harvest, and so we would at first thinning, second thinning, and final harvest.
Any questions? Seeing none, do we have anyone else in the audience that is either signed up or, even if you haven't, we have time, that wants to make any kind of comment or address the measure before us? I guess, hold on, we got one more. All right, Representative Crowe.
Thank you. Andres, you said that this was about a $11 million fiscal impact?
Yes, sir.
Over the lifetime of this, or?
That's
that
what
per
we would
year,
expect it to be
or
on an annual basis.
Annual basis,
Yes, sir.
$11 million per year?
Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
I think that's it. We've exhausted all our questions and conversations. So with that being the end of the first hearing, we'll schedule another hearing for this measure. And with that, we are adjourned.